Yeah, sure. So we're Rutgers. We're a university in New Jersey,
Oh, Rutgers, yeah,
and
yeah. Sick.
yeah, we scrim around 4.2, 4.1, 4.2 range.
All right.
We're all around that range. Winter, my boy here, our main tank is around three. What are you like 3.3 right now?
3.3, 3.4.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's a little lower as he's usually a low SSR on our
All
players,
right.
so he wants extra
Sure.
coaching. But we're relatively new as a team. This is like our second semester together,
Okay.
so our synergy is like pretty bad.
Okay.
But overall, we don't actually have a coach. Our MVP and myself and Jonathan, we try our best, but we're all like players or just not very into it,
Sick.
so we don't have like a defined
Okay.
coaching
Okay.
structure.
Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm actually working on a video of like why player-led teams can work if you have the right ingredients, and so we're gonna we can talk a little bit about that today. And I think like the first thing I'd say is like if you guys don't have a coach, you can still function as a unit if you guys are really individually self-motivated, because the game of Overwatch is really unique when you compare it to other games. I don't think there's a single game that I can think of, or sport certainly, that is as autonomous as Overwatch, in the terms of that when you're in the game, when you're in a match, it's actually very disruptive and it bad for a coach to be speaking up. Very, very rarely do you want to be speaking up. So you guys as players, you're making all the decisions, you're making all the calls, you're scouting, you're calling like what we want to do, you're clicking all the heads, you're making like your positioning. There's a million things that you have to think up, and you all have to do that responsibility yourself. So in a lot of ways, not having a coach is sucks. Like when you're doing like reviews, and like if there's any conflict within you guys, like having some sort of good leadership figure can help. But you guys are gonna be fine in game. Now, that doesn't mean that you guys are going to have to take some extra initiative. Now, we don't have communication here. And a lot of the team reviews, I go over our communication. So I'm not going to hammer on that as much today, but I can start by saying this. The most important aspect of Overwatch when it comes to team play, you guys want to take a guess what it is? Like, if you guys want to be instantly successful, what do you think that is like the most important thing to do instantly?
Ult
Being
planning.
proactive.
Oh.
It's planning. Yeah, it's planning. But the thing is like the way you said it was being proactive, and then the other person said ult planning. It's the same, basically the same thing. The goal isn't whether it's ults, whether it's like when you're going in, it doesn't matter. You guys need to have a plan. And so I want to go over that really quickly right now. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
so
good.
I'm gonna stream Overwatch really quick. I'm gonna stream my the replay here. And we're not going to even like go into the compositional play or whatever. And I'm gonna get my stream set up as well. We're just gonna like TLDR. All right. A play can be, guys, I'm playing monkey. I'm going to jump them in 5 seconds. Are you guys ready? That can be a plan. A plan can be, I want to use my nano on our echo, and then we go into a copy. A plan can be, we're gonna just in the front line and try and burn down their diva, and then we're gonna look for a rally afterwards or something stupid like that. Or we're gonna let them engage on us. So sometimes you can be reactive. We're gonna let them engage on us, and then we're gonna counter rally or counter EMP, right? Or I wanna push and claim high ground. Those are all different plans. Bad teams have bad plans or don't have plans at all. And more often than not, it's the latter. Good teams have good plans, or plans that maybe aren't that good, but they all like commit on them, and they always have one, like without exception. Like I guarantee if you compare good teams, they always have a plan. Bad teams, they always have a bad plan. That's been my experience of all SRs, contenders, Overwatch League, Tier 3, GM, Masters, Diamond teams, without exception. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're missing that aspect here. But the funny thing about whether you have plans or not is you can see it based off of what happens. If I see my monkey jumping in and our Ana misses nano boost, or the nano boost doesn't happen and he dies. If I see our echo going in aggressively, but our sombras in spawn, I could tell you that that's more often than not a scuff up with communication or a scuff up with planning, and that has to be addressed. That being said, we're at a level right now, which is like low GM, right? Where we can start to talk a little bit, not just about the planning side of things, but also about the compositional execution. In other words, how is this composition supposed to work, right? We should be able to handle that. So,
Yeah,
I think we should be able to handle that. Okay, so is everybody in stream? Just to make it doubling sure.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right. So somebody describe to me, how does this? Why is this like? What does this composition do? Like, what is this composition? Like, what is it good at? Just describe some different little details.
So the thing our comp I think does the best is we're good at singling out a target, especially with the Sombra. We can single out one target who we just want to kill at the start of a fight.
Okay.
And that's kind of like our play.
Okay. What else are you guys good
Charging
at?
Nano.
Charging Nano. Sure. Nano is a good win condition for you guys. What else? Just spitball some stuff. It doesn't have to be like little things, big things, anything.
They're grouped up. Echo.
Follow up for Monkey.
Yeah. Anything else?
Echo messes up grouped up players.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So there's a lot.
Diva eating. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead, please.
Diva eating and an aid.
Yep, exactly. So you guys basically nailed it. There's a lot of like high ground control and diving in and isolating targets, etc. If you guys had a perfect fight, like textbook fight against this composition, what would it look like? Your monkey would jump in, and what else would we have?
I think if I could hack either a Mercy or a Genji, like one of those things, they're
Okay.
just very squishy once they can't move.
Sure.
Diving in on that guy, killing him instantly, be able to turn and split their team is probably the best.
So Sombra is like looking to hack or pressure. Your Echo kind of goes in aggressive with your monkey. What about your Diva?
I protect my monkey.
Probably protect your monkey, looking at their comp, most likely. Depends on the situation, but most likely going in with your monkey. So this guy goes in, you're already in position, you take an aggressive angle, you can help your monkey get in. What about On and Brig? What are On and Brig doing?
Playing to be undiveable as well as but also keeping LOS of your tanks for their dive.
I like that. That's a really good way of describing it. Being undiveable, but also contributing to the dive. That's a great way of putting it, right? So if you can land a nade, maybe you're in a really good position and you can greed a nade, maybe save a slate for monkey, but like you can greed a nade, you can land some shots, you can heal, you can get good LOS for nano boost. Your Brig has good LOS, so she can pack who? Who's she packing?
Brig's not here, but
Echo, probably Echo or
Sombra,
Sombra, right? Depends on the situation. Maybe save one pack for your Ana, but yeah, you guys, you have like this. So I want you right now to visualize what the perfect win condition is, and it's a pressure window, not a dive, just a pressure window. When your monkey's doing something, your Sombra's set up, your Echo's doing something, your Ana and Brig are set up or are going towards a good location, and your Diva's helping out. Does that make sense? So we have an expectation of how we want this composition to be run at a pretty high level. Like that right there is fine. Like you could be diving backline, you could be diving high ground, and then clearing so you can dive backline. It doesn't matter. But that's every single time we see something happening, we want it to look like that. Correct? And so what we do is when we're learning is we set an expectation of what it should look like, and when it doesn't look like that, we have to ask a very important question: why? If I see my Diva completely out of position, it might be that your Diva is just being dumb and is being ignorant and making a bad decision. Or it could be that, oh, well, I couldn't because of this. Or I thought that because of this, right? And that's what we have to figure out. So you guys clearly have an idea of what a win condition or a pressure window or a dive should look like. So now we just play it and we see if it's that what it looks like. And if it's not, then we have a problem. Does that make sense? And that's a great way for you guys to review. If you're playing a composition, you know how it should look like. If it doesn't look like that, you need to ask yourself why. All right, so we're getting some spam in here. Gonna take some high ground. Now, Sombra setting up. Yeah, so you can already tell what's a little bit off right now. Just a little bit off. Can you guys see it? Let me turn on the overlay if you guys can see. What's a little off right now?
The Sombra engage versus our monkey actually going in and bubbling.
Now I said something very important a couple days ago that I've never really said before. I had to think about it a little bit, but it's something that I've realized from a lot of coaching is a lot of the times you guys said, okay, we're gonna dive off of a Sombra hack. Usually it's the other way around. Who's the Sombra player? Do they have a mic?
Oh, that's me.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, obviously Wiz, yeah, of course. Oftentimes you as a Sombra are gonna want to be the one that follows up off the dive. You have to be quick, right? But very rarely am I going to want to see you unstealthing, looking for a hack before your tanks dive. Why?
So that way, when they hear me uncloak, they can't do anything about the hack, like because they're busy with the tanks.
You're a squishier hero. You're easier to get rid of. So you need to be, you're more of an opportunistic hero rather than forcing it. They can't stop your monkey from jumping. They can't stop your Diva from going in. They can't stop your Echo for taking an aggressive angle, but they can definitely stop you from hacking them. And they can definitely send you back to your team. So what you need to do is, yes, you're a little late here, right? You're definitely a little late, but we expect you to be just a little bit lagging behind. So yeah, you guys pointed out before we went on that rabbit trail, this Sombra is too late, right? Because what's going to happen? When is the Sombra going to get here? Right now, right? And what's the problem?
Our tanks already lost the high
Right.
ground.
This was an opportunity to get a hack, to get a pick, to get some pressure, to just build some EMP charge. And so now if our Sombra does something, what is the enemy team going to do?
They're
They're going to turn around, and guess where your Sombra's going to go? Bye-bye. She's gone.
Away.
And so you've had an opportunity. The goal is that you synchronize all of your efforts at the same time, and that stuff happens. Kills happen, space happens, pressure happens. You force more cooldowns than you use, and eventually good things happen. Now, you have to use those cooldowns properly. Like maybe if our monkey drops bubble down here, it doesn't matter if you bubble at the same time as our Sombra's there. It doesn't matter. But we want to make sure that we're using those cooldowns properly and we're timing them well. So the timing was not there. So can I ask a little insight into your communicational stuff? Like, can you guys give me an estimate of how you think this dive might have been called?
So
I don't even think. Usually, like, this wouldn't even be like a countdown to like going to the high ground. Usually it's just like I would say like I'm gonna go to high ground and poke when I like coming out of spawn. I wouldn't even usually consider this a dive. I just think you're gonna go up there and trade some damage and drop.
So and that's a pitfall. And to be clear, that is a bad thing that a lot of tank players get into. If you're placing shield as Orisa, that is something that you want to be able to follow up of. If you're rolling through the middle of the enemy team as Wrecking Ball, you would like your team to be able to follow up of that. If you're jumping just for high ground here, the thing is you're like, yes, you're jumping for high ground, but maybe you guys don't get high ground here because you notice that you still don't have high ground here. Maybe if your Echo had been a little bit better positioned, or if your Sombra had been a little bit better positioned, you would have put out more pressure. More pressure would have led to what? What do these things have done? Yes, they would have had to leave. Their Ana's like getting dove, the Mercy's screaming for help, the Diva turns on the Matrix, and then you get high ground. So very rarely will I ever say, oh, it's okay, you're just doing like a soft pressure window. Well, why not wait literally 1 second later and get significantly more pressure? Do you see what I'm saying? It's you don't only want your team's follow up when you're going for a dive kill on the backline. And everything you do, every jump that you take, unless it's like the enemy team is just completely gone, then like if their enemy team is back over here, you don't have to say, guys, I'm leaving spawn. You're okay to do that. But whenever you're actively engaging the enemy team, try and synchronize that whenever you can. That's the goal. Does that make sense? Yep. Alrighty. So we don't really have high ground here. Their comp is really weird. I don't understand the logic behind their comp, but sure. Yes, but Winder, it is you calling pressure when, like you are calling when you're jumping?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would do is, I don't like saying, guys, I'm diving in 5, 4. Say, guys, I'm looking for dive. And just ask, like, ready. I'm looking for dive, ready? Okay, and then just go. Right? Give yourself give them like a second or two. And if you need a second, if you're here and you're like, wait, that's all that needs to be said, right? Just get a little closer. Because again, you're following up. Same thing with Fluff. Fluff doesn't have to be like the perfect position, but Fluff can be like, here. All right, okay, and then I peek out and I go there. Just give him like a second. Just a second. All right, so there's a dive. Now, we have to ask ourselves, is this a good dive?
No.
Why? What's missing again?
Our Echo.
Your Echo. You've just alternated. Because the Sombra now, I think, is in a good position. Like the Sombra's following up afterwards. Do you see how the hack was gotten there? Very easy. Now, I don't know if they would have canceled the hack either way, but do you see how much attention your Sombra's baiting right now? Look at that. Look how much attention your Sombra's baiting. Like if they all focus you down mid dive, if you're timing this properly, like if you come out after Tank's dive and then they all of a sudden just turn around and focus you, you take that all day long. Because look at your Monkey and Diva. Like you're so free. But the problem here is, of course, this, because she was sleeping, I assume, right? And really, what's another issue as well? Like, what would I like from my Ana right now?
To see us, like, be in our LOS of me and the
Parsival. Is Parsival in voice? Okay.
Yeah.
Where would you go? Where should you be right now?
I'd like to rotate left and then up the stairs, which we eventually do, but that's like 3 fights in.
Yep. You should already right now be in, because that's another thing. When they're actively trading, that's an opportunity for you to rotate for free. And as you're rotating, you're supporting. Maybe you go look for a nade, like you look to like nade up here or something goofy like that, and you have good LOS. The problem with this positioning here is this right here. This is your LOS. You are safe, yeah, but you're also, you know, you're going to be safe from winning a single team fight here. That's an impossibility as well as survival if you hold this position here. It looks like you guys were waiting for Echo a little bit, which I'm not gonna give you guys too much hard time because it honestly looks like you guys are like, we're not expecting this dive, but optimally, whether this is Parzival's fault or not, Hippo, Parzival, and Fluff, they need to be here. Fluff, not exactly, but like you need your backline here. You need corner, cover, but good LOS in the fight. Because if you're not healing your team, you're shooting Monkey, you're shooting Junkrat, you're shooting Genji, you're armor packing, you know, your Echo or your Sombra so that she can stay in a little longer. Your Monkey's critical, so you maybe need to armor pack him. But right now, you guys have terrible LOS. And so if we look at this from just the backline's perspective of what happens here. Oh, I need to change this. Give me a sec. 10 seconds. Okay. Well, if we look at this from backline's LOS, there's a sleep. She's waking up. She's just poking, and now she's completely behind. Like, completely behind, and this is a 6 versus 3. So maybe this pays off, but my expectation is this probably won't do a whole lot. Oh, we get a kill. Brilliant. How did you get that kill? What?
She was hacked. I think I got her about half, and then Fluff just followed up.
Oh, nice shots. There you go. Okay, so yeah, the hack was huge there. And then, okay, so like, nice job, but I don't want you to have to just click heads, you know, and get the right hack. Like we basically, like, you have to look at Overwatch as like, it's good team play and good individual play. You guys won this fight off of a really great Sombra hack and a really great couple of Echo shots. You would like to be able to have great individual play and great team play so that there's just zero chance of them winning. So overall, what have we seen so far as being the major issues so far?
Synchronizing.
Being in sync. And how are we going to fix that?
We're gonna have to like time it better. Like we're gonna need like a to all be more aware of like when Winter's calling or Winter's actually about to dive in.
And how are we
like actually
how are we gonna fix that? Because I'm gonna keep asking like how until we actually figure out like what's something concrete that we can try next scrim block. Because that's the goal.
So a construct that I've tried to implement but it hasn't really worked out is so we do Winter calls looking for dive, right, or something, right? Then both Roxas and Fluff mainly, right, they call ready, like just say one word ready, or if he's on sorry, then just say bubble or something like that, right, to know that he has bubble. And then Winter calls diving on target in 3, 2, 1. That's
fine. I would say try and cut down the talking a little bit because simpler is always better. So I would probably say I'm looking to dive, ready, and everybody should know what dive means, right? It means bubble, it means Sombra setup, it means Echo setup, right? We don't have to like, you don't need to know, like, I think if you don't have bubble, you say, I don't have bubble, give me, like, I need 2 seconds or 3 seconds. And that's it. Because when we're calling a dive, everybody should already know their role, right? Is your Ana confused about like what her job is? No, like let her, if she wants to use nade or not, that's her judgment, right? If she dies because she wasted nade, then that's her fault, not her team's fault. Right? If your Echo is mispositioned and your Echo thinks that Echo should be played back here, well, then you need to talk to your Echo because your Echo is playing the hero wrong, right? But at least give them the chance so that they to try and do what they think is best. And if what they think is wrong, then you guys review it and you fix it. But right now, it feels like you're not even giving it yourself a chance to decide, because do you matrix on entry or do you matrix afterwards? You know, it depends on the situation. But your diva just needs to know that you're ready to go in so that she can make that judgment call. So I don't think you need to clutter up comms by saying all that. Just say, I'm looking for pressure or looking for dive, 3, 2, 1. And then if you guys aren't ready, say not ready. And then we wait a second and then we go. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't want you guys to only do what I'm saying. Dive 3, 2, 1. Maybe you guys are like, all right, looking to pressure, you know, maybe you do a 4 count time, maybe you don't do a count at all. Dive, ready, go. Like, it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you guys, I don't care. But you need to keep it simple. You need to keep it simple. Okay. So let's see our next pressure window. When's it gonna be? Are we gonna be set up? And we're not again. Not properly, right? Now we're a little more set up than before. What do we see so far? What do we see so far?
Fluff is really far out again.
Fluff is a little far out, but he can quickly engage, right? So it's at least he's okay, right? This isn't terrible. What about our backline?
Oh, they're still not on the high ground.
Yeah, but do they have LOS?
No.
Well, I mean, maybe
Well, not on me. Not on me.
not on you, but
Why would I need LS on you?
yeah, but they have decent LOS on like the actual dive. Okay, so this is slightly better. I think like okay, first off, what the heck? On a brig probably should be doing this rotation here. So this is a mistake on you guys, micro, but at least you guys are set up. Like you can pack, I guess, your diva. You know, Fluff is at least in a position to where Fluff can actually like W key in and contribute to the dive, right? Again, it's going to be Fluff's decision about whether we go in or we don't, but he's actually set up. Now, who's not set up though? Or at least not really well. Yeah, this guy, this goofball, yeah. Right? And again, I don't know why that's the case. Do you guys have any guesses why? If not, no big deal.
I'm pretty sure I hacked the Sombra. I mean, I hacked the Ana, and then the Junkrat runs on me, and I start running away. Because I think I started in position and then I left position.
Yeah. So what's the issue with this right here? Can you guys guess?
No one else applying pressure, so they can all just turn on the Sombra.
Let me give you a little hint here. Look at here and then here. So you guys already know that I talked about, okay, I like tanks going in first and the Sombra immediately afterwards. But this is even worse than that. Look, do you see it?
We can't even reach
it. You can't even, well, not even that you can't even reach it, because a hacked Ana, there's no nader sleep for peel, right? So it's still useful, even if you can't dive the Ana. But do you see do you see the issue here between the two targets? I'm tabbing one more time. What's the cooldown on a bubble?
Oh, he doesn't even have it.
He doesn't have bubble. Even if you land this hack, you can't dive. So even if you guys really find success off of hacking then diving, which I think is bad, but you know, you can make it work. Sure. You can't do it. You don't have bubble. You're not ready to go. So this hack is worthless. And it's actually worse than worthless because it's going to force you to miss position when the dive actually starts. Now the junk chases you, so I guess that's something. Like it's better than nothing. But do you see the issue here? This hack is now gone just in time. Like, look at that.
Damn.
That's just awful. That's just awful. You hate to see it. And it could have been a lot worse. That's how you get yourself clear to Sombra, because what did they have to look at right now? Is like right now, what do they have to look at really?
Basically
nothing.
Just
air.
Fluff in the distance.
Yeah, fluff,
air.
a little bit of pressure, but really air. Like it's maybe a little fluff, but there's nothing. So they literally can all turn on you, remove you, 6v1, and then take the 5v6 immediately afterwards as your team dives. Because it's a great hack. Like it's a nice hack. It's good job, nice job. But you would like to get this hack here and then stay here and just go, you know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna be able to do that. I mean, look at the ult charge right now. Like you've been in a good position 2 times in a row and you're walking away with a mostly passive ult charge. That's a red flag for timing. It's a huge red flag. Sombra is one of the heroes where if you're timing wrong, you don't do anything. And so that's a big red flag there. So Winter is definitely the lowest ranked player, and obviously someone who I'm going to be harping on the most with timing because he is the main tank. And when you have a 12-second cooldown for bubble, you kind of tend to be the one that everybody wants to pay attention to. But this is a team-wide issue, right? We've got an issue with rotating here and peeking at the same time. Echo's maybe not as aggressive as Echo ought to be. Sombra's mistimed a little bit. You know, Diva has an easy job. Diva just has to look at her main tank, and you know we can go over micro maybe a little later. But do you guys have any questions so far?
No, I think I have a decent.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What did you say, Wiz?
Oh, I just said I think I have a decent idea of what's going on.
I actually have a question.
Please.
This pertains more to like the next fights, but you'll see it happen. When on like maps like this, right, where the cart goes under the bridge and stuff like that, who would you recommend going on point in comps like this, or where we have like if you have a Mercy inside the brig, or if you have a Tracer inside the Sombra, same thing. Like, who would you recommend going on the point when I want to take high ground?
I was just about to actually talk about this, so this is perfect timing. Well, you guys tell me.
Because our idea was that because this was like a week ago, right? And we've implemented something different, but the scrims we had recently weren't good to like VOD review. So we've implemented some stuff differently. So we started with the Echo, thinking that like she can still fly to help it dive usually from cart.
True.
And sometimes it's the Diva depending on the comp. If you have like a ball Diva comp.
Echo is okay. The problem with so what you want is you want a mobile hero, right? So that they can leave the cart to go contribute elsewhere. Correct. So that was good. But you also want a hero that's not going to get poked out or dueled too easily. My concern with Echo is that her positioning on an angle is a little bit hard for her to be, but also if they run a Sombra or a Tracer, your Echo could be harassed on cart and have issues and demand healing, correct? So which of your heroes is A, not very, very flexible with setup, B, somebody who is mobile, and or C, is really hard to harass?
D.Va.
Yep, D.Va. It's mostly going to be D.Va pushing cart, mostly. Monkey is too easy to poke. His setup is like a little too tricky, so probably not Monkey. Sombra would be okay, but she's a little bit pokeable. Like Sombra, a lot of times Sombra pushing cart is very good, especially if your D.Va can't get there. But I think Sombra or D.Va would be my priorities here. Echo as well, but I think Echo is a little too like for me with Echo, it's like Sombra's going to be like on cart, push, and then she's kind of on backline here, whereas Echo doesn't really want to be on their backline. You see what I'm saying? Echo would prefer to be more on the angle that she's set up now. So I would prefer Sombra or D.Va. But what I would not like is on a Brig. That would be great. that would be a nice plus, right? Mm-hmm. Get off of cart. Get off of cart. Win the fight for high ground. Let your D.Va handle cart later, or Sombra handle cart later. You need to win the fight because you or your team is at risk when you do this. All right, so let's. I'm actually gonna turn off spectate overlay and just see what happens here. Are we gonna even get high ground? We are, but it's gonna be incredibly risky. Oh no, we lose it. And this is all this right here. this is all this right here. Your poor Echo. You guys probably lose this fight.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's a very expensive mistake to make. Set up your backline, pressure window around your monkeys and your backline's positions or your backline's LOS, and then make sure that everybody's set up.
Oh, I get rolled here.
Oh wait, what? Like you got hold?
Yes, as me.
Right,
basically, the monkey just watched me translocate in, and then I just kind of got nothing to do.
That's great. That's unfortunate. Okay. Alrighty. Unfortunate. We go next. And just to be clear, guys, like I know, like at this point in time, you're probably like, man, this is like super basic stuff. You have to understand this is how VOD reviews go at any level. At any level, that the simpler the VOD review, the more basic and understandable, the easier you're going to be able to apply it. And I'm telling you, even at the Overwatch League level, they struggle with stuff like this. That's something that I repeat over and over and over and over again. Fundamentals and basics, fundamentals and basics, fundamentals and basics. If you get that, then you don't need to worry about. If I were doing a one-on-one with the monkey or with the Sombra, we'd talk about a little bit more micro stuff. But for you guys, all you need to worry about is deal with the big picture stuff. Deal with the simple stuff, and the details will come afterwards. How you want to use nade, doesn't matter. If you nade when your monkey's going in, and then you get punished for not having nade, whatever. We'll figure that out down the road. Focus on the fundamentals right now. Biggest return on your investment, guaranteed. All right, sound like an infomercial now. Guaranteed.
I'll take it, dude. I'll take it.
Okay, what do we think? Because we're about to go in. What do we think?
I think this is a relatively decent setup, actually, from us this time.
Okay, why?
Because we're all in, like, I'm in a position to help in a second. Fluff is flying up over the tanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little far out,
Yes,
but
you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah,
you're fine.
All in all, I think it's decent.
Yeah. Actually, and really, Sombra backline is not something you always have to do. Like sometimes just like an angle here, and you can get packed here too. And you could just like permanently hold down mouse one. You can put a lot of pressure there. What's my only major issue with this dive? I think there's a couple of like little details, but nothing big. What's the big issue here?
We don't have a really killable target that we're going to taunt high ground. It's only Mercy, and Mercy can guardian angel away.
Are you
I'm just
diving
being
high ground for kills though right now?
No, but we are nanoing.
You are nanoing. You are nanoing. But the nano is just a confirmation that you're going to get the high ground. I don't think the nano is necessarily a bad thing. It's not a huge ult investment. For me, this nano says you guys are going to have to screw off. We guaranteed get this high ground. Now our backline's safe. Now we're all in good DPS positions. And our next dive, you're going to die, right? It's okay to use ultimates to get space. It's absolutely totally fine to use ultimates to get space. I mean, maybe I wouldn't nanoblade this, you know. Maybe you would like that because obviously the nanoblade, you don't want to kill squishies. But this is fine. My major problem with this is this again. Because we have LOS, but we're not rotating again. You see what I'm saying? Like our LOS, well actually now our LOS is bad. So it's and we're split as well. This is no good. This is no good. You guys, we need to be thinking ahead of time. Like, you should already have an idea of where you want to rotate ahead of time, and you should get to work on it. Does that make sense? And do you understand Parzival and Parzival and Hippo? You said Hippo isn't here?
Okay, yeah, he's not here.
I'm here.
No,
I'm here.
Hippo's here. Hippo's here.
Oh,
okay.
he is. Never mind.
Okay. Why is high ground important for you guys here? There's a couple of reasons why.
You're a lot more diveable when you're on low ground. Our LOS is hard because unless our monkey's like poking the corner, we can't heal him.
Yep. And the third reason why is next fight, where are you going to want to be positioned? If you win this fight,
on blue box,
you're gonna be maybe either blue box, or you're gonna be rotating in towards here, and you want to do that as safely as you possibly can. You are going to, as 6, clear this high ground, make them drop, and then you guys can rotate from there. But you're never gonna want to be under. Like, that's never ever gonna be your responsibility. And you don't want to rotate through here because it's very, even though it's like, hey, okay, like maybe I'll contribute a little bit. Your LOS here is awful, and you're right on top of the enemy team. So, not a fan here. So we're gonna slow this down. Nice hack. Nice bash. You'll take that all day long. So you guys just stabilize, retake space. Let's see here again. Let's look at this again. Let me look at this right before this jump happened.
Oh wait, I should mention the comms here. Sure. So what happened is Winter called jumping on Junk. The Junk flew over him, so Roxas split off for him.
That's okay. The goal isn't necessarily that you guys all have to be in the same target. The goal is that you guys are all doing something at the same time. So if Rock is splitting on a Junkrat in the backline while Winter's going in by himself, like, as long as Winter's aware of that, that's fine. You know, like, it means there's fewer things that Winter is going to have to be, basically fewer things shooting at Winter. This is okay. I saw Sombra pushing card at the same time. That's fair as well. What's the issue here again, though? So the first jump was fine. What's the issue with this second jump?
There's no one there.
Well,
it doesn't achieve anything.
Actually, I think it's okay. Like, it's not just that there's nobody there. You're jumping so that you can set up here, right? And then what do you do with your next jump? Yeah, you go Ana, right? So you're setting up for the next jump. But what's the problem with doing that now?
No,
I'm guaranteed to get slept.
Well, nope.
No Diva, no
You're
Ana.
getting it's this. It's this.
Oh.
Because you're right. Because I don't want to like poo-poo what you're saying. Because you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get slept here and like I get nuked. You know, obviously I have to be careful. Yeah, those are all like little details. But it's not the big detail. The big detail is that you have an Ana and Brigand spawn. Now, to be clear, I'm not gonna blame you all for this because your Ana is. I'm just gonna like watch your Ana's LOS here. Like, first dive. Nice. Okay. Like, it's just very slow. It feels like we're window shopping for like shoes or something. Like, there's no sense of urgency with the rotation. So this is making things a lot harder for your monkey, and ultimately it looks like we lose our Echo as well. Same reasoning. Because your Echo is trying to contribute and ends up just caught in Narnia. But this is an issue. Like, our Ana needs to be hustling with a rotate, and we also, again, need to be taking fights as 6. If you guys take fights as 5, you take fights as 5. That's fine. But this is just a huge desync. A huge desync with what we're doing right now. And I'm actually curious to see if we're even trying to synchronize with the Sombra. So we're putting pressure right now. Yeah, so we're just a little desync with what we're doing. Okay, so now we're rotating. But unfortunately, we've already lost somebody who we shouldn't have lost. And now it's just a mess. Okay. Does anyone have any questions so far?
So, like, I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this correctly.
It's okay.
Is it our duty? So, like, when we're doing like these rotations and we want to be waiting, is it more on? How do I describe this?
I think I know what you're gonna ask, but I want to see you struggle and like.
Is it on us to be faster, or is it on the caller to wait longer? Like, do we have to be faster, or is like, or are we setting up too
so
fast?
let's put it this way: could you have been faster the last 3 fights?
As our support line, I think could have been
Okay,
faster.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna Parsifal's in Hippo's here. Parsifal, Hippo, could you have been faster the last 3 fights?
Yes. I realized. I think it's this fight. I realized that, and I go left
great.
finally.
So you scuffed it up. You threw the team fight. Shame on you. Winter, could you have actually paid more attention where your supports are set up and when they're in a position to help you?
Yeah.
Screw you. You're a terrible main tank. Shame on you. You threw the team fight. You see you see my point? All it takes is one of you to correct your error, and the error is gone. That's all it takes. If both of you do it, you guys are going to be scrimming, San Francisco Shock next week. You know what I'm saying? But all it takes is one of you to correct the error and make sure that you're going to fight as 6 and the issue's gone. Now, it's maybe not optimized, but it's fixed. Your Ana might still stand AFK on main, but at least, and you as a support might be like, holy cow, my monkey's just like way super proactive, but I'm gonna try and match his tempo. And you as an Ana could be like, yo, Winter, chill out, dude, I'm rotating, and or you could be like, hey, Winter, I'm rotating. Wait. That's all it takes. And basically now when Winter says, are you okay? Ready? Okay, I want to dive. Now you know what that means. You know that you need to be there, and if you're not there, it's not just your Sombra that needs to be screaming like, chill out, wait, I'm not there yet. It can also be your Ana. It can also be your Brig. Your Brig is not just there to exist and look good, okay? Your Brig is there to, hey, I can pack my Echo so that my Echo can literally just burn the enemy team and make their main tanks want to not play Overwatch anymore, right? Like, you contribute a lot, but if you can't see, you don't contribute anything. Does that make sense? So it's both. Yep. It's both, and it doesn't matter which one you fix. All right, so let's see what we got here. And this is just dive fundamentals. You take space. You can dive here. You can dive here. I don't care. Just take space and have angles set up. And if the enemy team is playing really aggressively, fight for those angles. But make sure that when you're fighting a 6. You're always fighting a 6 without exception. This isn't ranked. There's no excuse to not be to be desynced, brother. Okay, let's see what happens here. Taking space. Nice. Where's my Echo? Can't find my Echo. Where the heck is my? Oh my gosh, that's insane. Okay, there you go. My Echo's not getting enough support. My Echo's not getting enough support at all. So I'm picking on Micro a little bit here when I see it, and right now I'm seeing Echo's not getting packs.
Yellow
got lost.
I had trouble finding him.
Oh, okay, I would make fun of you, but I'd be making fun of myself, and obviously I make no mistakes and I'm perfect. So if I had a mistake, then obviously it was completely understandable for you to make the same mistake. But yeah, this is my problem with this is that you're reacting to the I need help restored when you should just always know where she is. Period. Like this is where the heck
He's hiding from
right?
This is your buddy. Like your job. This is as Brig. This is your job. Now this could be a Tracer. This could be a Genji. This could be a Sombra, a Doomfist. I don't know all the comps that you guys play, but any mobile hero that is taking an aggressive position, that is your responsibility. And you should never, ever, ever go, oh, where are they? You should always know where they are because like it's not just when they're critical when you pack them. They've taken a little bit of damage. They're taking an aggressive position. You pack them. You don't pack them now, but like right now, you should already be packed. Like you should already be looking at them and you should already be packed. Instead, you're just like, you're rotating, obviously, but you don't even look for them. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what you're looking at right now? You're not even looking for your Echo. Like right now, you should be doing the what? Where'd you go? Because you know that this person needs help. It's your responsibility. Like so many Brigs get in this mindset. Like let's put it this way: you treat your DPS almost like you're pocketing a Zen mid dive. They need your constant attention and care. Constant. Help them to do their job. And it's especially bad now because you have 3 packs. You have 3 packs sitting there where you could be utilizing 1 right now or 2 right now or whatever, and start charging up the next one. Does that make sense? Okay, that's why you play Brig. You don't play Brig to just anti-dive. It's anti-dive, but even more important than that, it's enabling your DPS, and that's a job that you constantly do. All right, so let's see what we got here. My Echo is good. Ana's good. Winston Diva looking good. I'm looking at my Sombra here. Okay, this looks fine. This looks fine. Again, you guys seem to be a little tunneled on, oh, our Sombra has to hack a target for us to dive it. Am I correct? That's what you guys try and do? Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't need to do that. So the reason that you guys, the reason you play Sombra is not to disable a target so that you can dive. That is too inconsistent of a win condition. How many times do you guys get a hack target insta dive? It dies. How many times does that happen, percentage-wise?
Like maybe like 45.
Right. So it's about a little bit less than half the time. Okay, and that's actually a remarkably good percentage, by the way. That's like that.
It might be high.
Well, either way, that's like that's still something to be like. If you get that at like 1 out of 3, you're pretty happy. So what I'd like for you to do instead is think of you're literally Soldier 76 with the option to just make somebody want to rage quit. Okay, that's basically what you are. Where you don't have to always be on the backline getting for hack and killing. You can stand right here, hold mouse 1, and just annihilate these guys. They either turn around and come after you, or they ignore you. If they continue to ignore you and you see an opportunity for a hack, go for the hack. But do you see how much pressure a Sombra right here would push? Like you'd put so much damage out. And if they have to turn around, if they turn around, you've officially split attention, and that makes it easier for your core. If they ignore you, you just farm more EMP and you get more hack opportunities. Don't force your, like, a lot of Sombras think that, like, I'm only here to right click and then shoot afterwards. Sometimes you just shoot. Like right now, I would not hack this Junkrat. Well, maybe it depends on the, like, maybe he can conk away. So yeah, maybe the hack is okay, but like, I like just shoot most of the time. And that was a big thing with the Sombra Reap. Did you guys, are you aware of like the Winston Sombra Reaper meta that was like a little there like a couple months ago? Not a couple months ago, like 6 months ago.
Yes, we did scrim it. We did not play Sombra.
Right.
Though.
Okay. So the way you played it is you just had your Sombra on an angle and just held mouse 1. If the enemy team tried to scuff with you or got a little too close, you right click them and that was it. But then you literally just held mouse 1. Sombra damage is actually pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good.
We actually switched our Sombra player, which our Sombra player used to be our flex DPS, which is why like we actually wanted a lot of info on Sombra. Like,
yeah,
makes sense. Makes sense.
Sombra map.
Sombra is a deceivingly easy hero to pick up once you understand that, because you start it feels less miserable to like try and get these hacks and like my entire win condition is to get this hack. If I get it, I fail, I suck. You know, that's just not it at all. Okay, so a little concerned here. You know, we got the Junkrat kill, but obviously this is a little scary right now. We're pretty split. And not in a good way. Like we don't really have this high ground cleared, so I'm really scared for our backline. So I want our backline to play really safe here and wait for my Winston Diva Sombra to come back and help. Nice, brilliant. Nice. This is good. Okay, I probably would not have re-entered stealth here. Like for example, right now, why are we not shooting?
I think we're setting up with the mindset that we just need to EMP immediately.
Right.
We're like,
yeah, but you don't really need to. There's no real rush here. Just shoot, and that's another thing. And that's another thing with Sombra as well. Unless you have something that you need to like you need to. Okay, they're about the nano blade. We need to EMP. We need to go now. Don't even rush your EMP. Just sit there and shoot and wait for an opportunity to EMP. Right? Just wait for an opportunity to EMP. If you see an opportunity, if they drop and they start to come after you, you EMP. Your team follows up you to kill them. Just don't rush anything at all. Never ever force things with Sombra.
So are you saying that because EMP is, from my mindset, has always been like a great engaging tool? You're saying you don't have to use it to start a fight necessarily?
It is a great engaging tool, but if you're in a great position. If the enemy team is denying those positions or they're playing like really split, for example, teams like I'm sure you guys, hey, this team has EMP, and so what they do is they'll split up everyone across the map. Have you guys ever had that before? Like dealt with that? Yeah, then don't worry about it. Don't EMP. Just take the fight. Just say, okay, they're all split. They're all in terrible positions. All right, we're just gonna one by one clean them up and force them to do something about it. If they do nothing about it, you win the fight without having to EMP. The second that they all try and clump and try and like turn the fight, you EMP. Don't force it. Like right now, if you're like, hey, this looks like I can maybe throw a translocator and get a good EMP, go for it. A little risky. You might get slept. I'm gonna laugh, but you know, like don't worry about it. Like right now, I would be shooting. If they drop, then EMP. Because if you look at it here, you're like, how many people did you EMP? 2. Not good. Not terrible, but not good. Did you staying in stealth increase the number of people that you EMP'd?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. You would have gotten 2 either way. You would have gotten at least 2 either way. So instead, what you've done is you've kind of removed yourself from the fight the entire time. The only time I think you should stay in stealth until you directly, before you EMP, is when you know that they're going to instantly turn on you and clear you out. So you have a very tight window. Does that make sense? Like, like if you were to like try and EMP here, and just decloak and chill, you're going to get shot and zapped and all sorts of stuff. So that's where you go quick. But we're getting a little bit too deep into Sombra micro here. So like I want to see us clear high ground and hold high ground right now. So let me turn off this overlay here. It's a little visually big. Did you rehack D.Va as well?
I did.
All right.
Typically, because I don't know. It's just I don't see reason not to. I guess.
I mean, it's a damage drop off.
True. Yeah.
And there's damage you could be putting out right now. So and it also puts your hack on cooldown too. So right now, your EMP is not like when this EMP expires in like 4 or 5 seconds, you're gonna have to wait another 2 or 3 before you start to hack again. So you're stacking it for essentially basically 3/4 of a second at the expense of not being able to hack in 2 or 3 seconds, and at the expense of DPS. So not a fan. The good news is that what? Look at this battlefield, guys. Who has the positional advantage here?
We do for sure.
Yeah. You guys have a huge positional advantage here. These guys should lose this fight because you have the high ground, so you guys are safer. Their Ana is matching you in high ground, which is really scary for their Ana because now you guys can directly dive. I mean, look at what your monkey's doing right now. Now, mid-fight, things get chaotic. So what does our monkey need to call when he's doing something? Does he need to call like a specific dive target that everybody follows off of at the same time?
Who he's
Not
chasing.
necessarily.
No. He doesn't need to. All I need to say is I'm jumping. I'm pressuring Ana. That's all. Because right now, does Monkey need everybody to help him dive this target?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Even if he gets slept here and naded and he gets his bubble, it doesn't matter. All we need you guys to do is do something at the same time. Sometimes your Sombra might be busy pushing cart and she can't follow up with dive. Maybe your Echo is like dueling the Genji in the backline. The goal is that your guys are synchronizing your pressure at the same time. This is synchronized pressure. This should work. Doesn't matter if you're yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't matter if your monkey slept. You did the job. You got the space. You win the fight. Easy. Now, obviously, there are advantages of being on the same target at once, but mid-fight sometimes that's just not possible. Okay. Now, I think my main problem with this here is, what's the problem here? What's the main problem with this setup here? What do you guys see that's wrong?
I think our supports aren't in a safe position right now.
Your support's in misposition, but it's not just your supports. Who else is misposition?
Tank should be on high ground, at least one of them.
Tanks need to be on high ground. Safe position so that you can just drop in stage. You need to set up your angles. Right now, we've got like basically 5 people on cart. It's unnecessary. Sombra should be high ground. Echo should be high ground. Echo basically is high ground. Really, the only person who's properly positioned is your Echo. It's the only person on your team is positioned. Winston out of position. D.Va out of position. Sombra, if you can, on a high ground is absolutely oppressive. Like so much damage you can put up here. You could just like get packed. Like if you get packed up here, dude, like it is busted. Like that you're gonna make their lives miserable. But yeah, everybody here is all stacked, and this is not the proper play. Monkey setup. This is good. There you go, winner. 3.3. Yeah, that's a hard cap. He's the only one. Like you and your Echo are the only one that's positioned properly right now. Hard cap.
My teammates suck. They're holding me back.
Yeah, Elo, hell, and scrims. Unfortunate. You're gonna nano this just to like make sure that you cap. That's fine. I don't really care. It is what it is. It's also really helpful if you guys can like get a couple of stagger kills here. That way, why is that important?
More space on
Oh,
second.
yeah, exactly. Because if you can get space in second, this is like oppressive, like absolutely oppressive. Like I wouldn't even mind committing an ultimate or two just to make sure that you clean these guys up so you guys can get the high ground, because that stuff is busted. But yeah, like why?
And then we don't have to worry about getting through.
Yeah,
checks.
exactly. Now you don't have to worry about like this awfully designed map. Like like I love this map and I hate this map at the same time because of this whole like nasty thing here. So you guys are the one pulling it on them. I will point out that Hippo dies to Riptire because Hippo was on cart. So just point that out quietly. Okay, Monkey should die. Hopefully. I mean, you guys are gonna have small advantages. They're just gonna feed. So, all right, they should be all right. All right. And honestly, like I know this sounds really corny here, but just get in the habit. Like right now, what I would do is I would call out like when you're going in. So like right now, fights one, winner's like, all right, I'm going in, I'm in. Just say when you're doing stuff. You don't even use jump there, you don't use bubble there, and it's just a cleanup fight. But just say like, hey, I'm doing stuff. So if y'all want to help out, like go greedy. Now's the time to do it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yep. Just get in the habit of doing that all the time. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing here, but just get in the habit. Like right there, again, I'm going in. You know. All right, so let's see what's happening, because something really important needs to be happening right now. And that's staging, or clearing, basically taking space. And I know what I'm going to see here, and it's going to make me sad. You know, let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, it's making me sad. Yeah, where should your supports be? So let's just say, like, where should your supports be?
They could be that top right, top right high ground, like with the door that goes into Mega. They could be up there.
You could be here. You could be here. You could be here. You could be. I mean, going up here is a little scuffed because your LOS is, you know, just butt cheeks. But you know, like at the very least, get up here. This is a great position to leverage because you've got good safety, you've got good LOS, you've got high ground. You can greed things like your bionic grenade because you know the stupid monkey's not going to drop on you. You know, you can push up. If you guys push up to this door here, but just don't be on cart. Because like if you look at this here, like you're thinking like, okay, the Diva's helping monkey clear high ground. Well, you know what would be better than a Diva to help clear high ground? An Ana sitting right here. You see what I'm saying? Or a Brig sitting right here, right? That's the goal. So why is my Ana and Brig up here, but my Diva's not? That's just unfortunate. Because the Diva can reposition herself whenever she wants, right? Diva doesn't obviously want to stay on cart forever, but this is not good. Yeah. So right now, we need to position ourselves. Okay. Where the heck? I'm so disoriented. Okay. That was a disaster. Oh no, no! I would have preferred to be disoriented than what I'm seeing now. Oh, Lucy.
Oh.
Okay. What's the issue here? What's the major issue here?
We're all over the map.
You're all over the map, man.
And our supports are on cart with like barely any
Yeah,
LOS.
your backline LOS is just awful. Your Sombra just came out, and now you're going in. And like the thing is like with Sombra, if you're gonna go for EMP charge, that's fine. Just make sure that you have your cooldowns back in time, because obviously like benefiting from your tank's pressure is gonna allow you to get even more EMP charge. So like right now, we'd like our Sombra to be in. But honestly, like again, it doesn't really matter whose fault this is. This is not all our Sombra's fault. Like our Sombra was thinking, okay, we're just gonna take high ground and fight for high ground, and we're not gonna really go for backline, so I can farm EMP for free, right? Like I assume that was the logic there, right? And our tanks are like, okay, our Sombra's in really far, so if I dive in them, like even if we're just farming EMP, then I can like maybe help my Sombra farm EMP more by just putting a little pressure and then just jumping back out again, right? Those are fair like assessments. But the problem is you guys are making good assessments with different conclusions of when to go. And that's the problem.
I think my mindset was that because we like to initiate our dives with a hack. So I think I was trying to position to get a hack off, and I didn't get it. But I did get both the cooldowns out, so it's kind of like effectively a hack. That's still not good.
No, it's not.
Like that's still like less value.
No, it's still not.
Okay.
Because you know, Matrix, Bubble, etc. Those things are likely going to be able to like deny those value of those cooldowns as they are. Not to mention every single time you go in, you risk getting slept. So like if we look at like what Eeyore, I can't believe I just said that, but if we look at what Eeyore does here, like if that sleep lands, you're done. Like he baited it, like nice job, but if that sleep lands, you're done. Goodbye. Sayonara, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if your monkey Diva go in, they're not even looking to sleep you. They're looking to sleep your monkey, who's going to be Matrix and who's going to have Bubble and who's not going to likely die instantly if it gets slept. Meanwhile, you're just AFK, just holding mouse 1, looking for hacks, whatever. But do you see like the risk of going in by yourself here, or not necessarily going by yourself, but leading these dives?
Yeah, no, I
because you're instantly out, even though you did force 2 cooldowns, instantly out. Bingo. Oh, I forced nade, guys. I forced sleep. But like at what cost? I would rather have another person than another cooldown. And the enemy team to have another cooldown, if that makes sense. So this is not good. Not good at all. Your winners might even like you guys get a kill, but again, this is just a micro play. This is just them scuffing up and or you guys capitalizing off of it. Like yeah, this is not good. I'm sorry, what?
That was a nasty sleep.
Okay. And this is also atrocious. You see the problem with this as well. The timing causes like.
Yeah.
You see what this forces? Like this is so bad. Like it's really unfortunate what we're forced to do when we put ourselves in bad situations. Okay. Oh, he just stopped on the boxes. That was like partly good sleep and partially just complete luck. Well, that was pretty funny. Nice sleep. Okay, so this is good. Like we have the positions here. Would love once again if our Ana and Brig run better, like on high ground here. But like at least right now we're kind of all in, you know, like we're kind of all in. Winter, you can probably just primal this if you need to. I respect the fact that you're not trying to. The sleep does its job, even though they wake him up, it doesn't matter. And this is just GG's here. Should be GG's.
Pretty sure.
Should be GG's. Should be GG's. Should be GG's. But do you see the really scary part about all this though? What's the scary part about all this? The part I'm not super happy about. On a micro level.
Say the supports?
Yeah, it's the supports.
I'm diveable.
Yeah, you're diveable, right? Like maybe if your Brig's rallying, you can drop and go in aggressive and try and get cleave, but like that's no excuse for your Ana to drop. Like I don't like, if anything, if you're gonna aggress, like aggress over here, you know. And even on to a lesser extent as well, Wiz, I would really love you to be just AFK up here. I'd really love for you just to be AFK up here. Like you put so much more pressure and you're safer.
Even though there's a soldier right there?
I mean, he wasn't there. He wasn't
okay, fair
there.
enough. Yeah.
And like, okay, the soldier comes there. Okay, shoot, I have to drop. Well, then you drop, and then you do the same thing here.
Okay.
It's the same thing. You play outside of the LOS of the high ground. But yeah, you guys just kind of, you synced up there at the end. You know, these mid-fight situations, you kind of are all in. It's like that initial burst. That's when everyone is off. Okay. I would really... if possible, if you guys get enough staggers, getting your Ana Brig up in here is pretty sweet. Obviously, if they're running a Widow, that kind of changes things for sure. But you know, you at least want to get set up there, and then okay, oh shoot, they're on Widow. Okay, we're gonna go inside here and like play like this area, or maybe you could play like, where the heck is this thing? Play here, or you could play like, go for a greedy play here. But you kind of see what I'm saying? Because if you look at their composition now, if I were to draw like a line straight forward that's red, you guys, and a line straight forward that's blue, which line, if you clump them all together and just W key in the open space, is going to win? Which team? Yeah, they are. Exactly. They have just a metric butt ton of damage in one direction. So the only way you guys are going to beat this is if you get your Sombra on an angle, your Ana like gets a fat nade backline, you know, you sleep their hog, something like that, and then like your Echo comes in from like, you know, downtown and like hard flanks. You know, that's the only way you're going to beat these guys, is actually utilizing your mobility and surrounding them. So I think that's like another reason why I'd want your Ana Brig to push up. But hopefully you guys have recognized this win condition and execute off that. Obviously things are a little different in the chaos of scrims and stuff, but let's see. But yeah, just like, again, do you see the issue here? What's the issue here?
This Brig is completely unavailable.
Yeah,
for
Brig
the
is a
fight.
little unavailable. That's definitely an issue. First off, you know, like Brig would like to be pushed up a little bit further for sure. So it's maybe a little early there, but also like what's even worse?
Fluff's not in the sky.
Well, Fluff can react. That's fine. Like Fluff might need to be scouting Widow. Where the flip is Wiz? Like, where is Wiz? Again, I don't need Wiz to follow up on the dive. Wiz could be here. Wiz could be there. Wiz could be, you know, off like playing patty cake. I don't care, as long as Wiz is doing something. Wiz can use his judgment and go like, okay, I can play high ground here, or I can try and hack Ana, or I can try and just shoot Orisa. Like a Wiz would be doing more. Literally just pressing mouse. Oh, I can't. Holy cow! Wiz could just be shooting mouse 1 right here. Totally fine. You get the Nano Monkey Diva, go in, bait all the attention. You guys hard bully the Orisa. Orisa forces Fortify and literally just runs away, and then you guys get all this space for free. You see that? There's like a million different ways that you can look at the situation working out if Wiz is doing something.
When I play Sombra, I feel like I play differently with EMP. Should I just play normally? Because I think I'm playing extra passive right now, specifically because we're trying to set up the EMP.
I hear you, but yeah, I would not play overly passive, because the danger is that if you're basically looking for perfect circumstances for you to execute a plan, and if those perfect circumstances, if those stars don't align, then it's a 5v6 until they do. You see what I'm saying? Okay. It feels like you're looking for the perfect opportunity EMP, and if it doesn't show, then you're just AFK. And I would rather you be contributing something, and then, hey, there's an EMP, and I go. And honestly, in this circumstance here, you're not really going to be able to contribute much. This dive is honestly a little early because of the whole Brig LOS, the Ana LOS thing. Like you would like to be set up a little bit further up, but yeah, not great. Like our Wiz is still in stealth. There we go. No, that was only like 7 seconds too late. So okay. What's my issue with this EMP? What's my major issue with the CMP? It's very similar to what we've been talking about this entire review. What just happened? Right 1 second ago, what just happened?
We got a pick already?
No. Watch careful.
I jumped out.
Yeah, you just jumped out. Bingo.
Oh.
And look at your echo. Is your echo in any position to push? What about your diva? Now, I assume you guys are like EMP bombs, so obviously you don't have to worry as much about your diva. And honestly, even your brig, like your brig and all, like there's still doing a risk, like yeah. But you can kind of see here, because like you look at this and you're like, I take that EMP every day. 3-man EMP, absolutely, go for it. But the problem here is obviously that the follow-up's just not going to be there. It's like if this bomb doesn't hit anybody, then you guys are screwed. Your monkey's not going to be able to follow up. Your echo can't follow up. Like, look at your comp. Look at your team. You just used EMP.
The reset gets deleted here because I just right-click E and big.
Yeah,
damage.
echo balance 0. But like you see how like look at your team right now. It's almost, you would think that they had just EMP'd or so, like you guys are like running away, you know. So it's like it's a very disorienting look here, and it's a nicely placed bomb because it does force a really good split that you guys can capitalize off of. But again, you guys have no cooldowns, no follow up, so it would have been better there to have just waited a little bit or called it. So again, is this your Sombbra's fault? Is this Wiz's fault?
No.
I mean, maybe,
on, guys,
kind of. I don't know. Is this Winner's fault? Fluff's fault? Parcel's fault? Like, all it takes, guys, is one. Is it could be a lot of people. It could be a lot of people that could have scoffed this or could have communicated this better. The point being is that the result is bad, and somebody has to step up and fix this. Right? This has to change. We can't have this because this is again just luck. This hog just happens to be in the right place at the right time. Okay. See, even like this, Fluff. What's the issue with this? Just even if this is just a micro little. Okay, Fluff just peeked a little too hard. Fluff, is this a
pretty bad?
Yeah,
angle.
it's a bad angle.
Oh, it's 50 health.
You're 50 health. And what's not in front of you right now? What do you not see? Do you see any red at all? Besides, okay, let me rephrase that. Do you see any of your teammates in front of you, around you at all? No, there's nothing to create space for you at all. There's no Sombra pressuring. Yeah. There's no monkey. There's no diva. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So this is not even an aggressive angle. This is really passive. Like you've been going in all over their heads. I want you in their spawn. I want you literally just flying out over here and just BMing them by standing directly over the spawn door. I don't care. Do it all you want, but do it when there's actually like pressure. This is also 1v6ing. We've flamed Winter with being missed time. We've flamed Wiz for being this time. Well, now it's Fluff's turn. This is bad. And I'm actually curious here. How many armor packs do we have? Oh, come on now. Why isn't there? Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, no armor packs. I'm just curious. Why are we always so low on armor packs? What's going on here? We are always on 0. Okay, armor pack. Fine. Armor pack. Sure. Oh, you bad man. Shame on you. That is a diva behind cover. What are you doing? Alright. That's okay. That's understandable. She got halted. You're a little scared. But you should already have 2 packs now. Okay. Okay, that's a full HP. I think that actually caught the echo. But
oh, did it?
Did it?
Sad.
I think
unfortunate. So. No, don't do it, please. They're on cart. Ah! I don't know, Fluff. Elo hell, I don't know. These guys, this brig's just hard stuck, 4.1. I don't know what the deal is.
God damn it,
yikes. This right here, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Most of them expletives. You know what I'm saying? Like this is really all we need. This is all we need to see. This is not good. So, yikes. Okay. But hey, look what we got here. Uno, dos. Trace. Look like we're taking some space on the left side. It's just, I wish we had echo. Like, unfortunate. We're not gonna win this fight.
We actually had a conversation when we went over this map. So Okay, so Winter and I, Sombra and Winston, we take the left door from this perspective, and then Diva solo takes the right door. We were talking. Should we have both tanks on the right door and just me on the left?
There's one mistake that both of the tanks are making when how they take the door. What's the mistake with this right here?
You shouldn't use an ability. You should just be poking the corner.
Well, not even poking the corner. You should be behind the corner. Make them walk out into space before you use an ability. Before you even zap them. It's like holding Numbani first, right? You don't stick your stupid fat... we just talked about this in my stream earlier, actually. You don't stick your fat, ugly face in here because they just have to sit. They could just do this, beep, boop, boop, right? You got to make them... they got to actually commit to the no man's land before you actually commit a cooldown. So don't stuff. Don't ever stuff. The only time where stuffing is good is when you we're guaranteed gonna cap card here. All we have to do is slow them down a little bit, like King's Row third, you just stand outside door while the card's like 1.1 meters away and you just cap easy peasy. But stuffing is really bad if you don't actually stop them from if you can't cap the card fast enough. So these guys are stuffing. That's a lot of abilities, a lot of pressure wasted for what? And to annoy an Ana a little bit, that's not worth it at all. But it's not just that. I want you to look at your Diva as well. Do you see the issue here? You do the same exact thing that your monkey did. You go out and you stick your fat, ugly face in the door. You cannot, as a Diva, stop them from walking outside of the door. The only thing that you can do is reduce the impact that this door has. Do you see what I'm saying? What your job here is when we say, okay, Winston Sombra, deal with the other door. First off, Winston Sombra should not be stuffing the door. They let them out, then dive them, so that you have a good angle on them or you can get to the back line or actually get a kill. Because if they're just going to sit here, they should be able to just sit here and cap. You know what I'm saying? They have to actually walk out and then you can kill them. You can't kill them if they're inside. But as Diva, for example, let's just flip the script here, okay? You're Winston Sombra diving in. This looks better, right? We would have liked to seen this with Bubble, right? So as Diva, you're dealing, let's say your job is to deal with the opposite door. What does dealing with the opposite door look like now? If it's just a solo BAP. Can you dive that? Yes, you can. What if this was Roadhog Kree? Would you dive that? Would you stick your face into that? No. You would sit here and you'd matrix. You'd shoot, you'd matrix, you'd turn your head hitbox, you'd hide corner, you'd matrix. That hog looks to hook your backline, you matrix. You don't need to kill them, you just prevent them from getting as much value as they otherwise would. Does that make sense? So the logic for here, when your monkey is kind of feeding, no offense, is not to peek like this. It would be to play where? Right, just right here. Play right here, shoot them out when they walk out and matrix a little bit. If they start shooting your monkey, throw out your matrix across, throw some micro missiles in there, back up behind cover, but you do not stick your face into that. Does that make sense? Okay. But to be clear, both sides try to stuff. Like you guys would do what you did there if the cart was here, because you could just instantly cap. Does that make sense? But not if you're trying to. But if you're gonna actually have to take a team fight and they can absolutely recontest, you don't do that. All right. So let's dive. Let's try and set up our angles here. Synchronize our pressure.
So we swap up our comp here because they want Orisa, and our whole idea is just we're gonna blow up the shield and then work from there. This is when we have a mindset change in how we wanted to play.
Okay. Let me think. So what are the benefits of Brig?
Packs on Echo.
Right.
Packs and
counter dive, right? And also Rally's just busted, So what one of those aspects is no longer relevant? So is she a less attractive hero now? Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine. There's a logic there. I wouldn't even just that's what you look at. So yeah, that's totally fine. So now you want your Echo legit hard flanking, and that's pretty much it. Let's take a solo flank. Okay, so this is really okay. Well, let's we won't go over. I'm just kind of curious here. Okay, so that ain't it. Okay. Oh, you went Hanzo too.
Yeah, so I went because we were like, oh, what's a spam hero? And then I think we just said Hanzo, and then I went that so I could destroy the shield with Storm.
Yes, but also, let's put it this way. You have, basically, when you're playing Mercy, it's not just the spam, it's also the fact that, hey, our Echo can hard flank and dive, right? Can you dive with an Echo Pocket and Mercy? Yeah, you can, absolutely. It's the same win condition. It's just like you go a little bit greedier, right? And you can be dove in return. When you go Hanzo, I mean, this comp could work, but the problem with this comp is now that you're trying to play spam into a composition that's probably just better playing spam than you are. You see?
Sure.
Like, if you guys want to go Mercy and Hanzo, then just go Orisa Hog. The Mercy's flexible, right? What can the Mercy do? We just talked about it.
Just pocket any
She can pocket a
DPS.
dive, right? She can not if we were running Sombra Tracer, that would not be so good. But your Echo can like go really greedy on a flank, and your Mercy can help with that. But can Hanzo like flank backline? Like you're gonna stage your Hanzo like back here so your Monkey and Diva can dive safely? Like I mean I don't know.
Maybe it's a rank
maybe.
strat.
I mean Wiz might just like the lunge is now 100 meters. You just you lunge across and there you go. But yeah, now you guys are playing for a win condition that's just scuffed. And if you're playing like this, you'd want a Ball, you'd want a Zen, you'd want probably a Zarya or a Sigma instead of a Diva. And now what you guys have done is you're playing for a win condition that's like, hey, we're just going to dive in. But what's the problem with this dive? What's missing right now? DPS follow-up. But not only that, where are my angles? Remember what we talked about? Red versus blue arrow? Which arrow wins if it's directly straight forward? Blue. If you don't make at least some of them turn around or just split their attention, you're not going to win. It's if you walk directly at a glass cannon and wave and smile, you're gonna get blown to smithereens. You have to pull it apart. You have to pull it apart by the seams. And right now, there's no pulling apart. There's a Monkey and Diva that are walking directly into the gauntlet with nothing else that's gonna take advantage of it. Like even look, obviously your Mercy's dead, so you can't really follow up. But look at your Echo, look at your Hanzo. Do you think these guys are gonna follow up off of this dive? No. There's no follow up here. You guys should lose this. And the fact that you even got a kill is just because their BAP is, doing who knows what. Like, Immortality Field and you're gone here. I mean, I don't imagine this goes well at all. Primal Rage will be helpful here, but so like, okay, let's just put it this way. Let's make this work. Before we wrap up this review, let's make this work. How would you make this dive work? What would you need from your DPS?
We need Echo Mercy to be like in their spawn basically because they can't really do much.
Yep, right here. Flank around this way. Blow up that Orisa or shoot them all this way, right? What about your Hanzo? Where would your Hanzo want to go?
You could take top
Yeah,
left.
probably take top left. Exactly. You'd shoot from here. Your Winston Diva would die from here, and you'd come from here. If you could, as Winston, you would love to jump across here and flank underneath, and maybe be able to jump out here. But that's probably very unlikely, right? There's not a lot of flanks for you as Monkey to take here. I'm completely lost. Okay. I'm still lost. Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to second point. Okay. But yeah, you'd want a really greedy angle from your Echo Mercy. You'd want your Hanzo to take a more aggressive position. And honestly, as Ana, you'd want your Ana just to chunk a nade right up here, right? And hope something happens. So let's see what happens. I'm honestly curious. Are our DPS going to play aggressive enough on the angle? Because that's the nice thing is like, the nice thing about dive tanks is a comp like this, they want their hog on a flank, right? They want their soldier like over here, but they're scared to do that against dive tanks, so they tend to clump. When they clump, that just makes it so that your DPS can go more aggressive. Does that make sense? So like, your comp is bad, but you can make it work. You can find a way to make it work. You can play to the advantages of your composition. But I'm concerned now. What am I concerned about right now?
We don't stage. We just
you don't stage at all. Like, what is your Hanzo going to do from this position? Break Orisa shield?
No.
Like, what is your Echo going to do? I mean, your Echo, I assume, is going to go in and like copy Kree or Hog or something. So that'll work because you can just like go in. And even our Ana right now is just like what? Like, what are you going to actually do from here? We need more than just Ana healing now. And you can, I mean, look at this. Like, this is it. This is the problem right here. Like, we could talk about, okay, the Matrix wasn't great enough, maybe, but like, you don't even get a chance to play your hero. And look at, like, this is not good. Not good. I mean, it's good now because they're screaming and running, and they're running right in the middle of you guys. But like, it's not great. Please deal with the McCree. Please deal with the McCree. Please. Yay! Nice. Brilliant. Okay. Nice job.
Bear back, my brother's locked out.
Okay, no worries. We're That's phenomenal. Okay, we're basically done anyway. So what were the big issues here? Because we talked, I think, a little bit of micro with I think everybody in here, at least a little bit. Everybody, I think Echo, but that's just because Fluff made no mistakes whatsoever. He didn't even peak here. He made no mistakes whatsoever. Rocks as well. Was obviously flawless and even no mistakes whatsoever. So what were the big points that you guys can actually directly go and work on?
My biggest takeaway is like the making sure we're all like in position first. So that means we have to call when we're not ready. Like
I'm gonna turn off the screen just so you guys can think properly. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
For me specifically is obviously support positioning when I have the chance to take that high off angles that or not off angle, but like different angles that I'm not diveable.
Just rotations. You know the positions, man. Like you don't need to go watch an ML7 stream to know where you need to go. Like you know, like you have a general idea of like what needs to happen. Yeah, exactly. Just focus on that. Okay. What else?
Being aware of where the DPS are and their cooldowns before diving.
Sure, and call it too. Like when you need, like it sounds like you're already calling dives, but it needs to be okay. You guys ready? Okay, ready, go. It doesn't have to be long and dramatic. Just simple, straight to the point. And if they don't call it and they just feed, screw them. Go pick up some of your plat teammates. I mean, your diamond teammates, and they'll probably do a better job. Okay, who else?
Catch me in the diamond boys.
Not to use my armor packs deliberately.
Right, exactly. Using your armor packs deliberately. Perfect.
Sombra is soldier, but with a teleport.
Okay.
That's stuck.
Sure. Position more aggressively. Exactly. Yeah. And the big thing with you, that like because like a lot of what I told you, there's a lot of little things I told you in Sombra, and those are going to be tough to apply. The biggest return on your investment though is to not lead dives. You can when I say lead dives, if you guys want to have you calling dives, like when to dive, that's fine. But I don't want you opening hack as a dive win condition. I want it to be you dive a location and stuff happens. It might be a hack kill. It might be nothing but space. It might be a backline rotation for your backline. It might be forcing cooldowns, ultimates. It doesn't matter. But you need to be not cleared instantly before the dive happens.
Okay.
The biggest desync that we saw was clearly between our Monkey and Sombra. There was some desync between our Echo. There's some desync with our backline. But between you two, there was the biggest desync. And I think a lot of that had to do with that philosophy that you have, which I think is harmful. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, we can drop that.
You're making it harder on Winter for sure. And you're harder on yourself. Like you would like I want you to have gold damage. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're aiming for here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, like and like we talked a lot about meta, a lot of like little meta stuff here. But if we were to play Ryan Cree tomorrow, like you guys were to play Ryan Cree tomorrow, that composition is about like the timing, right, of Maywall. Timing of is my Cree set up on a flank, right? If we were to play Orisa Sigma, your Orisa's planting a shield and throwing a halt. Is your Sigma ready? Is your Hanzo on the flank? Is your Echo like ready to go in aggressive? Right? You kind of see what I'm saying, guys? Like, I want you to take this and don't just be like, oh, that was helpful. Spilo taught us a little bit how to play this dive. Now, I want you to take this and whatever meta you guys play, whatever composition you guys play, look at like the synchronization. Is this guy, not is this person staged for a dive? Is this person doing anything? Right? Are they applying pressure? And if they're not, you need to figure out why and figure out a very basic communicational structure that allows you to do that. Just what works for you guys.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just writing that down.
All right. So we got Q&A. Got about 10 minutes of Q&A. You guys have any? It could be about what we went over, completely unrelated. The conditioner I use, like it doesn't matter. So you guys know what to avoid. Yeah, anything you guys want.
So you actually mentioned with the Ryan Cree on the flank. So that's actually something we had a discussion about last night. Like, I guess it's a little vague, but like, how hard of a flank is too much of a flank? Because in general, sometimes I like to be on the side of the shield, or at least in a spot where I can shoot them. But like the biggest example I'm thinking of is we're on King's Row. You're attacking second point, and you have what's called their have staggers. I, as McCree, take that high ground over the mega, and then the rest of the team is like still in like facing in front of me, and I'm behind the enemy team as they walk in. Is that clear enough picture?
Yes, that's excellent.
Is that a flank that's too hard of a flank?
I mean, it's greedy as all get out, so you want your main tank feeding hard if you do that.
Okay.
That means literally you just shift in. You know, I'm giving you the A-OK to shift. So basically, like, here's the idea: when you're playing Kree, Ryan, a lot of it depends on how good their diva is and how good their diva is at like countering you. So with Kree, the harder the off angle that you can get supported on, the better. But the limit is always like how good their diva is, right? Like how quickly, hey, I'm on a really greedy off angle, but I'm too close. That diva just ends me and I die instantly, right? So you always want to be split at least a little bit. But if they're running like Ryan Zarya, or you have a really long sight line that it would take forever for that diva to get to you, like you always want to be split, but a lot of it depends on your play style. And a lot of it depends on like how, like whether they have diva or not. If they have a tracer, for example, that's gonna be a headache. Ball, anything that mobile that can punish you from being split. So you don't want to ever be stacked, almost ever, unless you're going for like a flash play. But you need to like look at the situation. Hey, my team can see me, so I can get supported on the single. Or hey, they're on diva, but I'm a million miles away, and like I have a good angle here with corner. I can just pop out and poke, and I can punch. Or hey, they're on Zarya, so I can play this high ground a little bit more aggressively because they're not gonna be able to contest me on this high ground. Like that. Those are the kind of the checklists here, because there's a lot of little factors that you have to consider. And if you ever die on an angle, don't assume that you were mispositioned. Look at your timing. Look at like, okay, did I split too far? Okay, was I like, should I have been aware of a cooldown or something like that? Because it really is important that you are splitting at least a little bit as Kree in this meta. Otherwise, you guys are going to struggle. But how and where you split depends on compositional and situational stuff.
Okay.
So vague answer for a vague question.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I got something out of that.
And a lot of it is, like I said, is playstyle too. Like you can have like hard flanking, and like as long as your team pushes hard off of that hard flank, you can get away with it.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? All right.
No rush. It can be like compositional stuff. It can be individual hero stuff. It could be,
Okay, I have
Sure.
a question. So like the whole like Reinhardt with the Lucio 4-2 split
Yep.
thing, and Reinhardt speeding around the map, like how do you deal with that? Like what is the ideology behind like playing around that playstyle?
To give context, we ran into a team that was basically playing the LH Cloudy playstyle, where they had their Ryan and Lucio on like hard crazy flanks, and we kind of got rolled by it. So we're just curious, what is the playstyle against that if we do our dive comp?
Oh, your dive comp? Oh.
Yeah, that's what we primarily play. That's the
way to beat a Reinhardt that's going like the reason why LH Cloudy flanks work so well is because he does them in ranked. If he did those kind of stuff in scrims, it wouldn't work. Now, what he does well that does work in scrims is clear high grounds and clear flanks. He does an exceptional job of not AFKing on main. He clears angles, he clears high grounds, and that's transferable. Hey, I'm gonna pin into your backline, that's not as good. And there's two reasons why. One, there's communication. So in other words, hey, this Ryan is in. We need to literally AFK and deal with this Reinhardt before we do anything, right? Because he's literally in our backline. And two, it's scouting. If you're running a Sombra comp, you should know where that Reinhardt is at all times. There should be no surprises. You see what I'm saying? That's the goal anyway.
Gotcha.
So obviously, sometimes like if they're really good at it, people will make stupid playstyles work. But that would be my first step towards beating that is scouting. Where is he, and when does he go in? We need to chill, deal with the Reinhardt, make him play slow again, like he's passive, and then we can go from there. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But there should be no surprises. Like the reason why Cloudy gets away with it in ranked is because the communication isn't there and people don't scout as well. They're a lot less disciplined. So he can pin into the backline on Hanamura or whatever, and everyone's like panicking, shooting at the Reinhardt, and the Zenyatta shooting the Reinhardt, but the Mercy's like not even turned around, and the enemy Orisa doesn't even know there's a Reinhardt behind her, and like that's where you start having issues with a huge man with a hammer in your backline. But yeah, that would be my suggestion. Any other questions? If not, no worries.
I have kind of a general question. So what's your philosophy on, I guess, adapting in the middle of either a match or a scrim? Like if you notice that you're down in the scrim or that you're losing, what's your mentality for coming back or adapting your play style?
So in terms of like trying to beat your opponent in the scrim?
Yeah.
So I think, if that's something that you guys would want to practice, the adaptation for like actual official matches, sure. But ultimately, I kind of look at scrims as just like practice. And hey, this composition that or this team that we're playing into, we're struggling, but we have a set of goals that we're working on. So that's what we want to be practicing. However, if your guys are saying, hey, like we're trying to practice something, but this team's just not letting us practice it, we have to change like what's going on. Then yeah, absolutely adapt. Absolutely adapt. I honestly think that a lot of your goals when you are scrimming are going to be more baseline regardless. In other words, if you guys are going into scrims and you're practicing doing stuff as 6 and having a better ult tracking cycle and having a cleaner communication between your DPS and main tank, it doesn't matter what comp you're playing. If you guys are looking to adapt into the enemy composition or looking to adapt and change up your playstyle, that doesn't change what you're working on, right? That's the same. Those concepts are applicable to anything. So when it comes to adapting, yeah, sure. Like you can even take that as a training exercise. Like I don't know how often you guys have official matches over at Rutgers, but like basically be like, hey, maybe we get it to an official match and they're doing something really weird. We have to practice sitting and thinking about it and making an adjustment. But I think like there's no secret to adapting. I just think like you need the things that make adaptations successful are obviously good adaptations. In other words, you guys are smart players and can figure out like what needs to be done, but also good teamwork, right? We saw today in today's map that teamwork was a little lacking, right? In terms of all working together at the same time, everybody kind of being together at the same time. So you might have a really good idea of how to adapt against the enemy composition, but it's not going to feel good or look good, and it's probably not going to work because your teamwork wasn't there. So adaptations are great, but until you get your teamwork to a level to where at least it's halfway decent or a little better than it is right now, then you're going to have a hard time making those adaptations work out super well.
Interesting.
So just prioritize the big stuff first, and then the adaptation and like I said, like you can absolutely practice an adaptation. Like you guys play up against a team that like One Trick's Nanoblade comp, probably gonna need to make some adaptations, like about what you're doing as Sombra, like what you're doing as Ana, what you're doing as Brig. You're gonna need to make some adaptations. But that should be like a conscious effort that you guys are gonna like work and practice on, but don't autopilot. That's what I'm saying.